Legion Episode 3, Chapter 3. Really enjoyed this episode. We get to see the characters jump into David's mind, and it was pretty chaotic. At first, it was kind of normal. It was like, okay, he's blocking them from being able to travel to certain places. Not necessarily David specifically, but, different personalities, and they're taking control sometimes. I was like, alright, we've seen that before, but they're doing more exploration, trying to help him figure out why are certain things going on here? What's happening? What triggered this moment? What caused you to lose control on this very specific day? And I love the way everything played out. We go through this episode, and it even starts off, with him basically finding out where his sister is, and he's able to, kind of transfer himself and Sydney to her location, and they're almost like ghosts. And I love the visual effect they did. It was almost like they were videotapes, but really faded out. I love that effect, but they find the location that she's in, and David's trying to call her name and stuff, and he's trying to get her attention, hey, we're right here. And I love that. I thought that was a cool moment, and just him losing control of his abilities and stuff, and they're scanning him and everything. It's his it wasn't exactly like his vocal centers, but his brain was acting up. It's but he's not doing anything. He's talking and he's thinking that he's seeing his dead friend. And he starts to activate this ability where they, like I said, they kind of teleport, but not 100%. And that's when we find out that the dude with the perm, kind of pseudo Afro perm thing, he's a mutant. And I thought that was very interesting. Either he's a mutant or maybe he just has magic abilities. I don't know if they're gonna, how they're gonna do with that. But he could see them, at least in some form. He knew that something was there. I don't know if he knew 100% that it was the two of them, but he knew something was there, and then that explains why they call him the Eye. I think they did that in the very first episode. I was like, okay, so he's a mutant, and he's helping them capture other mutants. It's a very common thing for the X-Men. It's always some other mutant is helping capture the good mutants. But I thought that was very interesting. I was like, okay, that reveals a little bit about this character, and just a little bit about his power. It's very interesting. It's just he can see things that are, or he can sense them at least, because the way he did it, it was kind of he was walking slowly, and it was something's here, I just can't tell what. It wasn't he turned and he's like, what are you doing here? He was slowly walking towards them, reaching his hand out, and then he, once he basically reached through them, they vanished. And he knew something was there, and he could just kind of see it a little bit. So I thought that was cool. Of course, David and Sydney end up being teleported underwater, and so they walk out, and it's alright, well, let's go through your brain. Let's figure some stuff out again. And that's when things got really chaotic. It starts off pretty simple at first when they go through him being busted for doing drugs and stuff like that. And he flips out, and they end up waking up, in a totally different area. They all teleport away. Sydney's just stuck there in the room by herself because everybody else has just vanished. So she decides that the next time he goes under, she'll go in with him. And they sedate him a little bit, so when they go inside, it's a young David. It's just him as a child, and that's the part of him that's still awake. And then it gets real creepy, because we go through kind of what they did early on when he first kind of passed out. They go through this crazy memory of the character from the book, the angriest boy in the world or whatever, which I'm very curious if that's a real book. It sounds so familiar when I first heard about it. I'm I don't know if that's really familiar though, because once I got to the chopping people's heads off stuff, I was maybe that's not the book I'm thinking of. But very creepy in this episode for sure. The giant head and the schoolboy outfit and just the angry face with the knife. So that was really creepy as they're going through. And they did some really good stuff. They kind of foreshadowed it actually in this episode, where David and Sydney talk about when they switch bodies. And David's every once in a while I have these weird feelings. Sadie! Every time she always goes crazy, yeah? But he says I have these weird feelings where sometimes my balance is just off, and it's almost he's in her body again. It's almost like a phantom limb, but for his entire body. It's a phantom body where he's suddenly he just feels as if he's still within her body, and it messes with him a little bit. And we see that kind of plays a part with abilities as well, because Sydney was losing it, just like David was when they first go into his mind. He's you don't see this thing, and he's flipping out over the creature, the yellow-eyed creature. And the same thing started to happen with Sydney, where she's freaking out and she sees David, and they're we don't see anything, and the walls are opening up with hands coming through. And she's like starting to flip out, and it's like, you don't see all this stuff? And they're like, no. So I love the way they did that early on in the episode, where it was a much simpler thing, where it's like, yeah, sometimes my hips are a bit different and stuff, which is also a funny line. She's like, watch it. But I thought that was really cool, because that was really simple. And then it went into residual abilities, almost, where she still had that mental connection to him, where she could still kind of get wrapped up within the craziness of his own mind if she's in there. So I thought that was very cool, and she's seeing the same stuff that, he would have seen. And I just thought it was really good. I was like, that's really cool the way it played out. Very creepy, because of course she gets separated from the other two, and so she's off on her own, and she's freaking out, and she's trying to get to David, and she's going through and she's seeing stuff. We see the scene where David's with his ex-girlfriend and they're having sex, and then her being chased down. At first it's by the boy, and then he changes into the creature with the yellow eyes, and so she's freaking out, and she's like, you have to wake up. And fortunately, she was able to wake up, but David never does. So she's able to wake up the other guy, and he's like, yeah, we got separated. And I still can't remember his name or the main woman's name. I want to say her name is probably Melissa, but that could be wrong. But she's in there, and she sees, I think it was like his mom and his dad, or it was like two random people, and they just look at her. And so she keeps going, and it was just really crazy. It's like, okay, let's see where this goes. And she ends up going into his bedroom, and of course she sees the book, and then it slams on her hand. I honestly thought that she was going to die. I was like, I don't know how this is going to play out, because obviously this isn't just, oh, it's memories, no big deal. They're like actually within his brain. At some point, it's got to be serious to the point where it can actually hurt them. So, it smashes on her hand, and it like just messes her fingers up and stuff. I thought the creature was going to like grab her, and something even worse was going to happen. But fortunately, she wakes up, and she's freaking out because she thought her hand was like completely destroyed. But it's like, the dreams can't hurt you, or the memories can't hurt you. And then that's when Sydney's like, I'm not so sure those were memories. And of course, David doesn't wake up, and we see he's stuck in a chair, and all these people are just yelling at him, and he's trapped. So I'm very excited for this next episode. I think they did a really good job of just going through the mental process of this character as he struggles to fight, really, literally, his inner demons. And I just thought that was really good. I was like, that was actually a very cool way to do it, where he's going through these memories, and of course they're just constantly trying to help him, like, hey, why was this scene missing? What happened here? Why are you blocking me? And he's like, it's not me, it's something else. And no one can see it because it's within his mind, but because of that residual effect after switching bodies, Sydney's able to see that stuff too. So it was very interesting. And so far, she's the only one to have actually seen the other creature. And I'm curious what would have happened if the woman like turned around. Would she have ever actually seen it? Because it was right there. Like, they were looking right towards it when he was like peeking around the corner, but they didn't see anything. So it made me really curious. Like, if she turned around after the book slammed on her hand, would she have seen it, or would it have just been like, nothing would have happened? But it's really hard to say, because the book slamming on her hand, that was sort of new for her as well. So maybe the longer you're there, or the deeper you get into his mind, the easier it is for the monster to affect you, or something like that. But we'll see what happens in next week's episode. I mean, he's trapped in his own mind. I'm curious how that's going to play out, if we'll get to see more representations of the personalities. Because so far they've really stuck with, it's David and this crazy yellow-eyed creature, and that's really it. I don't know if the young boy is going to be like a manifestation of a third personality or something like that. But so far, David's cool, and every other personality is just really creepy and murderous. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out, where he's trapped within his own mind. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think they did a great job with this as they dived into his mind, showing the like half teleportation thing that he had, where he can. I guess, I mean, it wasn't even a psychic link, because she wasn't able to sense that they were there, but he was able to find her. So it's really hard to explain exactly what powers he's using at certain times, because it's like they kind of teleported, but they weren't really there. They're basically ghosts, but they knew where she was because of a psychic link, because he was attached to his sister, and then she couldn't really sense that he was there. So it's just interesting, trying to figure out exactly what power he's using and stuff like that. But it was really good. Like I said, I really loved this episode. Very excited to see where things go in this next one, how he escapes his own mind. and if they can even go back in to help him, or if he has to do it all himself. So looking forward to how that's going to play out. Of course, we'd love to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And honestly, I don't even know what to ask for this episode. I mean, I guess the only thing I can ask is, how do you guys think he's going to escape his own mind? Like, is he going to get help, or is he going to do it himself? Because there's just a lot to it. Like, he freaks out when he sees that creature. It almost just freezes him in place a little bit. Like, he cowers in the corner, and that's it. He doesn't, at this point at least, he doesn't have the ability to confront it and try to destroy it or anything. It just freaks him out, and rightfully so. Like, he doesn't know how to control this thing. It's just something that's there that kind of tells him, don't say this or don't do that because I'll be mad at you. And it's just in his head all the time, so he can't control it. So, you know, it's hard to say if he'll be able to confront it himself or if he'll get help. But we'll love to know how you guys think that's going to play out. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please comment below, let me know. And thanks for watching.